Hi guys, I am Ram and welcome back to my channel guys. Most of you guys know me because I make the videos about the Saskatchewan province, University of Regina and City of Regina. But today I'm really happy to announce that guys I am going to make a series of videos that will provide the information to the immigrants and people who want to come to Canada as an immigrant. So today's video is the first video of the series called Immigrant Sustainability in Canada, and I am also working on few more series and couple of more videos. So the details of my coming up series and coming up videos you will find out at the end of this video guys. So without any further ado, let's get started this video. COVID-19, is Canada standing with you? This is the part 1 video of this particular topic guys, and this Immigrant Sustainability Canada series guide guys. I'm going to make a part 2 also for this particular topic, COVID-19. So let's talk about this part 1 guys. I'm going to cover actually 7 topics in this part 1 video. The first topic is employment insurance, EI. The second is CERB. Third is CESB. Fourth is CERB versus CESB. Fifth is international students benefit. Sixth is university and college level benefit, and the seventh is provincial benefit. So we are going to talk basically about all the benefits that are offered by the federal government or the provincial government for the citizens, permanent resident and the international students in the Canada. Employment insurance, it is a regular benefit actually in Canada. When there was no COVID-19 guys, that time also this employment insurance was there over here in the Canada. So what is it all about? It is all about benefit to the person who wants to work, but because of some genuine reason that person is not able to come to work. For example, if that person is sick or maybe on the maternity leave or some parental problems, or maybe that person is taking care of another person who is dependent on the person. So if this kind of genuine reasons are there, then you can apply for this kind of benefit and you will get the benefit from the federal government. Yes guys, so employment insurance is all about that. And what I will provide one link in the description box below. If you want to read more about the employment insurance and how to apply for that, then you will find the details about that in the description box below. But I'm not going to talk more about the employment insurance in this video guys, because the criteria of this employment insurance has been changed a little bit, and also the category of people who are involved for this who can apply for this employment insurance are changed because of the introduction of the COVID-19, and they announce a new kind of benefit now that is called CERB. So actually it is similar to the employment insurance, and if you are getting employment insurance then you are not eligible for CERB. So we can say that these both are nearly same, but because of this COVID-19 they have changed the criteria and the category of people who can apply for this benefit, and they changed the name little bit into the CERB, that is Canada Emergency Response Benefit. So as you can see guys over here, the benefits can be available to the workers who are residing in Canada, who are at least 15 years old, who have stopped working because of reason related to COVID-19 or maybe some other kind of a sickness, who had employment and or self-employment income of at least 5,000 in 2019 or in the 12 month prior to the date of their application, and who have not quit their job voluntarily. So these 4 are the criterias. If you are well fit in this criteria, then you can apply for this benefit. And if you want to check that you are eligible or not, then I am going to give the link in the description box below. You can go over there and you can check that you are fit in this criteria or not. You will get 2,000 Canadian dollar per month, that is 500 CAD per week. If your situation continues guys, then you can continuously apply for this benefit up to 4 months, so that you can get this continuous benefit. But you will get this benefit for 4 times only. So for example, if you are getting $200 $2000 benefit in first month, if your situation continues, you can apply for that again in the next month. You will get $2000 again in the third month, and again in the fourth month, but you cannot apply more than the four times, guys. So almost everyone is involved in this benefit: citizens, permanent residents, and the international students. So this is the main important thing of the CERB, and that is why people are more talking about the CERB. There are two ways to apply for this benefit, guys. The first is from the Service Canada, and the second is from the CRA, that is Canada Revenue Agency. I will provide the link in the description box below. You can go over there and you can check how to apply for that. Now, one more thing is, guys, some people are applying from both of these, from Service Canada also and from the CRA also, but you have to apply from any one of these two options. Now some people applied from both of these and they are getting money from both the sides, because nowadays what they are doing is government is not reviewing the application. When someone is applying for this benefit, they are just giving the $2000 now, because reviewing the application will take the time, and in that time period the people might need a help, so they are not cross checking now, but in the future they will definitely gonna cross check. And if you have applied illegally, or maybe you are trying to do some cheating, then you have to repay that amount. So make sure that you don't do any misconduct in this case. So read the criteria properly. I will provide the link in the description box below. You can go over there and check it out. Let me talk about one criteria in the CERB, that is, if you haven't earned the $5000 in last 1 year, or before the 12 months prior to your application, then you are not eligible for the CERB. So many students are there who haven't earned $5000, because so many students do the seasonal job and internship in the summer, or summer internship program. They do job only in the summer and they can earn the money only in the summer. So now it is a summer time. Because of that problem, they are not fits in that criteria of $5000 in last year, so they are not eligible for the CERB. By keeping in mind of those students, the Canadian government announced a new benefit to fill that gap. They announced the new benefit, that is CESB, Canada Emergency Student Benefit. So mainly students who are not eligible for the CERB or employment insurance, and who are unable to work full time because of the COVID-19, those students are eligible for the CESB. The criterias are as follows, guys: post-secondary students who are currently enrolled in a program leading to a degree, diploma, or certificate; high school graduates who have applied for and will be starting post-secondary education in the coming months before February 1, 2021; recent graduates who graduate no earlier than December 2019 and are unable to find work due to COVID-19; Canadian students who are studying abroad and meet one of the above criteria. So even the Canadian citizens who are studying abroad, they can apply for this benefit. But one of the most sad news for the international student is that they are not eligible for the CERB. The student must be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and international students do not qualify for this program, for this benefit. So this is the most sad news for the international students. So international students are, if they are not eligible for the CERB because of some reason, mainly because of that fourth criteria, that is, if you haven't earned $5000 in last 1 year, then you are not eligible. So if international students are not eligible for that, there is no any benefit for the international student. So this is the biggest disadvantage for the CESB. So you will receive 1250 every month. If your situation continues, you can get this benefit up to 4 months, same as in case of a CERB. But if the student is having some dependent, maybe students is having a kid, or student is having any disability, then that student will get $2,000 per month. Over here, as I told earlier, Canadian citizens, permanent residents are involved, but international students are not involved in this benefit. So this is the biggest disadvantage to the international students. So you have to apply for this benefit via your CRA account. So if you have your CRA account, you can go over there directly and you can apply for this benefit. But if you don't have CRA account, you have to create the one and then you have to apply for that. I will provide the link in the description box below. You can go over there and check it out. You will find all the details how to create the CRA account and how to apply for this benefits. So check out the link in the description box below, guys. So let's talk about the CESB is mainly developed for the students who do the internship and the seasonal job, and because of this COVID-19 they are not able to do that kind of a job. So those students are mainly eligible for the CESB. And main difference between the CERB and the CESB is that CESB is created to fill the gap of the CERB, but the main difference is that CERB is eligible. CERB involves international students while CESB exclude international students. It doesn't involve international students. So this is the main difference between both of these. Temporarily, they have removed the restriction of 20 hours per week for the international student if the international student is working in the essential services. Canadian government said that international students are playing a vital role in making the Canada's economy and Canada's lifestyle smoothly running during this COVID-19 pandemic, because they are working in the healthcare and the food supply chain department, and those are the essential services for the Canada, and because of that services only Canada is stable and going ahead in this pandemic and the crisis time. So they have removed the barrier for the 20 hours work for the international students who are working in the essential services. So you can find out the link of the essential services in the description box below. You can go over there and check it out. And if you are working in the essential services, you can work more than 20 hours and contribute your skills and your ability to make this country's economy strong during this pandemic. But my personal suggestion is that before starting the full-time work, you should confirm with your employer that our service is essential service or not, because after all this going to be over, if you are not in the essential services and you are working full time, and also you are you are not eligible to work from the full time from your university or colleges because of some reason, then you might be in a problem. So do check with your employer that your service is essential service or not, and if it is an essential service, then legally you can work more than 20 hours per week and support the Canadian economy and Canada. Universities and colleges level benefit, guys. International students are facing a lot of problem because of this COVID-19 pandemic, and they don't have any income sources right now, and they are facing a lot of problem for their day-to-day expenses over here in the Canada. One more thing I want to add is that this global level pandemic have affected their family in back home also. So their parents also lost the job and they also don't have an income source right now, so they are also not able to help the students over here and their kids over here. So in and the students are also not eligible for the CERB so many times, and CESB is not for the international students. So in that case, universities and colleges are taking steps for the students, and they are giving some relief to the students by providing the emergency bursary to the student. So let me give a few examples. That University of Regina, I am studying over here in the University of Regina. So University of Regina is offering a emergency bursary to the grad student. that is maximum $1,000 you can get from the university. You have to just fill one application form. You have to show your income versus expenses difference, and by reviewing that they will decide how much money they can give you. So maximum amount you can get as a bursary from the University of Regina is $1,000. Same, Saskatchewan Polytechnic also providing bursary to the students, and they are offering around 500 CAD to the students who are really in need of the money. So all over Canada you can find out this kind of bursary, emergency bursary from the universities and colleges. So that is really good news for the international students actually, and we are really thankful for the universities and colleges to provide this kind of bursary to the students. Provincial benefits. So most of the benefits are announced by the federal governments only, but provincial governments are also providing the help to the permanent resident and the citizens to settle over here during this pandemic. So I can say that in Saskatchewan, if you are a permanent resident and or citizens and you don't have a job now, or you are facing some problems, then you can apply for the Saskatchewan Income Support, that is known as the SIS. So you have to go through that and you have to check the criteria. If you are fitting that criteria, you can email them and ask that I am facing this kind of problem. I'm just arrived in the Saskatchewan as a permanent resident over here, and I don't have any kind of a job now or any kind of income sources. So can you provide me the help? And what is the procedure to get the help? And you can explain your situation to them, and you can also go over there and check the criteria. I will provide the link in the description box below. And not only in the Saskatchewan, if you are in other province of the Canada also, you can always check the benefit, emergency benefit from the provincial government, and you can apply for that. So that is the really good benefit for the permanent resident. And over here also they are not supporting the international students. Everywhere international students have to struggle in this kind of a pandemic and crisis time. So this is a really sad thing, but for the permanent resident they will definitely provide some kind of a benefit. So I suggest you can in whichever province you are, you can check this kind of benefits from the provincial governments. For the Saskatchewan, I will provide the link in the description box below. You can go over there and check the details. If you are eligible, you can apply for that. So I hope you guys got the really good amount of information from this video, guys, and that's it from my end. But I want to hear from your end. What problems you are facing during this pandemic as an immigrant in the Canada? Are you just a graduate student? Are you an international student? Are you getting the benefit from the government of Canada? And if not, then in which criteria you are not fitting in to get the benefit? And what do you think about this kind of benefit that federal government is offering to us? And what do you think about the benefits that international students are getting? And if you are an international student, are you satisfied for the benefit? And once in for all, what do you think? Is Canada standing with you? So that's it for today in this video, guys. This is Ram. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.